How's it going, YouTube? My name is Sure117, and I'm your friendly neighborhood Assyrian gamer. Now, before we start the video, I understand that I haven't actually been posting as many videos. Not to say that I used to obviously post every day, but I've been gone for at least about 2.5 months, give or take. Those 2 months, I was actually traveling for my real life work. Well, just the other work, I should say, the first work. I can't talk. But yeah, after that, I'm gonna try to basically try to post more videos as much, more quality wise. And at the same time, I'm trying to. It's in the work in progress. I'm trying to see if I can get a mobile setup to where I can actually do it while I'm traveling. With that being said, for the moment right now, this is it, and hopefully you guys are okay with it. Now, uh, as the video title says, we're going to be talking about Assassin's Creed and the potential for an amazing story that I personally think is brilliant. Uh, what that story is there was an article a while back, and this actually comes in the hot heels of the Assassin's Creed Mirage and Ubisoft's showcase of the other games that they're thinking about. I believe actually three games. One takes place in ancient China, another one in Japan, and surprisingly enough, the third one is a interesting choice. Is the Assassin's Creed Witch, which takes place in Salem. I believe so. The article essentially kind of gives it a bit of a mention about that here and there. I'll leave the description to the article, and there's also a TikTok which actually was sparked up the article about the idea. I'll also leave a link to that as well, should you wish to basically check that out yourself. Um, and obviously, if you want to give said person a follow and whatever you do on TikTok. I personally don't have TikTok, so I had to kind of find different ways of actually checking it out. Anyway, let's start out with the video. So, Assassin's Creed's obviously the genre of it takes place in on the side, basically adjacent with history. Essentially, that's how usually the whole genre kind of works, and it's essentially the shadowy part of history that supposedly no one knows about. At least that's how the basically story is being told. Now, with this one would take a slight different approach, considering the fact most of them usually takes place in a certain key parts of history. So, for example, the Crusades in the first one, Renaissance, and obviously the what was it? After Brotherhood was it was still Renaissance actually, and after that it was Revelations, and now that one took place in Constantinople or Istanbul during those times, and during the times basically of certain turmoils and certain events in history. After that, essentially, like I said, it was the pirates. Then there was a revolution, or technically it was a revolution. Then they went back again with the pirates. That being said, essentially, it takes place in certain key parts of history. Now, this one, technically, it is or isn't at the same time. While at the same time, that's not the only different things about the idea that's being proposed. Is that the key figure on this is also somewhat famous, if not possibly fictional. What I'm talking about is Robin Hood. The proposed idea on the article, or at least of the TikToker, is that they should make a game about Robin Hood being part of the Creed. Now, does that work? Honestly, my personal opinion, yes, it does. Robin Hood shares a lot of the different, a lot of basically the things that the Creed itself follows. That being said, is he helps out the helpless, and distributes everything, tries to basically give them a sense of freedom, a sense of hope, which basically, and he also does that all from, well, most times does it from the shadows. Now, if you've read any of the Robin Hood stories, the original book or any of the other adaptations, you'll see that this actually does work. And now, granted, character is fictional, but that would actually work out because Robin Hood's story actually doesn't just start on to where he came back home and he was fighting for the helpless and everything. It actually starts also where he was in the Crusades. That being said, this actually might work out perfectly. It might even actually, depending on, I'm not sure where the chronologically, where he and, for example, the first Assassin's Creed stand, as far as like timeline wise, this actually might work out pretty good. I personally saw all the different TikTok slides on there. It doesn't actually mention anything of that, but it would actually, I think, in my personal idea, it would might work out depending on the timeline though. I'm not quite sure, so don't go in on that one. Now, uh, the article obviously uh, gives you a link to the TikTok, and let me put that there. As you can obviously tell on here, it states on there, Robin Hood is the protagonist of the game, and it starts of as him robbing from the rich in Sherwood Forest and going to the poor for fun and justice. But then he finds out a secret from looting a rich noble. He finds out that Sheriff of Nottingham and King John are both Templars and are looking for an ancient artifact, which is later revealed as an Isu artifact. That's actually the Isu are essentially the people later on in Assassin's Creed. If you've never actually followed the lore to where that's what they're called. That is located near or in Sherwood Forest. Obviously, this is just a rough draft, so as far as essentially the ideas of it and everything, I'm not quite sure. The Assassin's Order of England finds Robin Hood as they hear of his exploits and recruit him to the order to take down King John and the sheriff. He then heads back to Sherwood and starts taking down the troops that are now located there due to the royal search. Robin realizes he can't do it alone and goes on a quest to recruit a gang of people, the Barrymen, to take down the soldiers and enemies located in the forest with him. As it is primarily set in Sherwood Forest with some villages and medieval Nottingham added in, it can be a much more stealth focused game as and his crew can hide in the trees or in the bushes and the long grass that inhabit Sherwood. That's actually, yeah, like I said, everything so far in this, I can't disagree. It's actually a pretty cool idea. As far as the king wise, though, I'm not quite sure, but as far as everything else I can tell, I kind of like it. However, Robin can still visit medieval Nottingham whenever he wants and can take down training grounds and barracks where the troops looking for the artifact train. This in turn can affect how much enemies are in Sherwood. It can make combat easier as you don't have to worry about stealth as much due to less enemies. Yeah, I agree with that. I'd still probably go with the stealth fact that usually a stealth more in every facet of the game. So much so that I've actually adapted it to different games. Last of Us 2. Medieval Nottingham is great for parkour and like Arno in AC Unity. We don't want to talk about that. Robin is very agile and his parkour is smooth and skillful. I'm just kidding. It was a good idea, but the bug's just gonna kill the game, to be honest. Just be honest with that one. Robin is more agile, but is weaker than other AC protagonists like Eivor. So, well, obviously he's gonna be weaker. Eivor was literally a freaking Viking. And in all fairness, all the other assassins weren't necessarily stronger than this guy or not, but that's just my opinion, honestly. Whatever. So this means stealth kills are more important as Robin cannot battle 10 men at one time without his crew, obviously. That goes without saying for any of the assassins. Robin and his gang can set up camp in different locations in Sherwood Forest and can even make camp in trees allowing for easy hiding. That's actually an excellent idea in my opinion. Anyway, you guys can read basically through the rest of this. It's just a lot of panels, honestly. But here's the article essentially where it talks about the concept of it, and among other things, it also mentions the fact that there are several different Assassin's games coming out. Now, my personal opinion on this is that it should probably take a little longer for each one to come out. I hope they don't try to rush them and just saturate the market with it, because it will just kind of kill it a lot quicker than in anything else. Just my personal opinion on that. But yeah, it talks about basically certain the reasons why and everything else. Other ideas, like for example, the Sanskrit Sun's shadow is a stunning Aztec era concept, which which I honestly think is also good, because we did actually get something like that, which was in Assassin's Creed 4, and they did actually mention it, but nothing to where they were centerpiece of it. But yeah, personally speaking, I think it's a great idea. Robin Hood and Assassin's Creed just seems like it's a perfect match, in my opinion. I'm a huge, I mean, obviously, as you can obviously tell from this, I'm a huge Assassin's Creed fan. Uh, a lot more than you think. Like, you can't actually see it on here, but I have like lots of different assassin statues over here. Bayek, Ezio, Connor, and unfortunately Arno, but you know, we won't talk about him. But yeah, point of it is, honestly, I feel like honestly developers taking notes from fans, it would be an amazing idea. It would be an amazing relationship to where not only are you getting the fans involved in this, but if you actually come out with this and work with the fans, I can almost guarantee you no one's gonna hate this, because not only are the fans essentially involved in this, but when it comes out, this is something basically they made, but at least they get to see the finished product and they get to enjoy something they built. I personally know this because I love building things, putting things together, and when I'm finished, I'm so proud of it that I just can't wait to tell everybody about it. This would be no different, honestly. You won't even have to try to, in my personal opinion, they won't even have to try to do that much marketing, because this is something like this that you're working with fans. The word of mouth, honestly, will make it spread like wildfire. Just my opinion on this, honestly. So no one has to agree with it. If you have any comments, any opinions whatsoever, please leave them on the comment section. I'd love to hear your ideas. I'd love to hear what you think of this idea. And just let me know in general what you think, if this is a good idea or not bad idea, or if you have an idea of yours. Honestly, that would be, I'd love to hear that too. I'm always open to hear different ideas, whether I agree or not. Because the more and more ideas, because sometimes even if an idea I don't like it, there's certain aspects of it that you can pick and put it on something else, because it sounds actually something that you didn't even think about. Anyway, like I said, with that being said, if I would love to hear from everybody else. I'll try my best to actually put out more videos, because I'm not traveling as much at the moment right now. It slows down on the season, especially in the winter. But yeah, with that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I would love if you guys actually like this video, comment, share it. But most of all, if you guys enjoyed it, you're just watching it through the whole video. I can't talk apparently. It was good enough for me. With that being said, I hope you guys had a good day. Live long and stay geeky.